Hello, everyone, and welcome to Spirit Reflections Around the Fire Conversations. My name is Fred Govea. For those that are here for the first time, Spirit Reflections is an ongoing series of conversations in English and Portuguese about the guests' personal and spiritual journeys, the tools that they found along the way, and how those tools shaped who they are and the work that they do today. We interview artists, philosophers, scientists, and people of all religious backgrounds to understand a little bit about their journey and in the process get to know ourselves better. So if you like this content, please like and subscribe, following us in our channels on YouTube, Spotify. Send us your comments and your suggestions for guests and for topics that you'd like us to cover here on Spirit Reflections. You can write to us at info@spiritreflections.org. The information is running across the ticker bar here at the bottom. And we count on you to continue doing these episodes. So if you'd like to become a member, we have special events only for members where we do events, music, meditations, workshops on family constellations, and all that takes place privately via Zoom meetings exclusively for members. So if you'd like to become a member and access this community, go to the YouTube tab that says join, and there you can find the different membership categories, benefits, and you can be closer to your spiritual journey with us. My guest here has been with us a few times before. She's one of the leaders in the field of instrumental transcommunication. I'm going to leave this in the description of the video, all the links of her work, as well as the 3 episodes that she has been a part of on Spirit Reflections in the past. So Sonia Rinaldi is an international speaker, author, and columnist. She has been participating in research on instrumental transcommunications for over 35 years, obtaining remarkable results in images and voices. As a leading authority in ITC, she has developed new technologies to record extracorporeal consciousness. She's pioneered the use of computers to record transcontacts and introduced new devices in the field of transcommunication, including telephones, cell phones, Skype, and other tools. Dr. Rinaldi is the co-founder and research director of IPATI, which in Portuguese translates to Instituto de Pesquisas Avançadas em Transcomunicação, or Institute of Advanced Research on Instrumental Transcommunication. She holds an undergraduate degree in Anglo-Germanic languages from Mackenzie University in Sao Paulo and MSc in Sciences of Religion from University Católica in Sao Paulo. She speaks frequently on spiritual research and has received worldwide media attention for her innovative methods which have been documented in nearly 100 books and e-magazines she has authored and published. So she's fluent in Portuguese, English, and Spanish, and through her work, she has comforted countless parents about the passing of their children, which is something we're going to be talking about more specifically today. But without further ado, Sonia, welcome back on Spirit Reflections. Good to have you with us.
Hello, Fred. Thank you for the invitation.
So today we're going to be focused on a series of communications you've obtained, Sonia, of a specific type of passing, of children specifically, or young adults who have passed on as a result of drug overdose deaths, right? So tell us a little bit about how that work began, and so that we could, while you tell us, we're going to be sharing some amazing footage here that you prepared for us on the show today.
Okay. To make things easier for developing the research, I usually organize groups of mothers, usually, or who lost someone dear in of something specifically. For instance, we had a group of mothers who lost the children for cancer, or a group of people who lost elders in the family, who lost babies, unborn, lots of groups that we organize so that we can have something to learn besides the results itself. We can also perceive lots of instructions. And in the case of mothers who lost boys and girls for overdose, it was a a very, very interesting learning that we obtained besides the communication of the kids. So that is how I organize the groups. By now, for instance, I am dealing now with another type of group, but I made it assisted a large group of mothers who lost for overdose, and I produced it with the results 3 long magazines. So everything is published and is all detailed and described in the publications. And that is somewhat that we're going to show to your audience today.
And Sonia, for those that are interested in seeing the magazines and reading your materials, what do they have to do?
Well, I have a Patreon website so that if person wants to cooperate with the research, and it is something very, very cheap because we don't do that for money. So
Right.
that with $5 per month, you receive 4 e-magazines, usually with 50, 60, 70 pages. So it is not a small quantity of information, and just for $5. So if anyone is interested, my website is www.patreon.com/Sonia Rinaldi.
It's here in the bottom of the screen. So let's support her work, everyone, because she's been doing it for a long time, and the results are amazing. So, do you receive like spiritual instruction, Sonia, like saying now you're going to be working with this type of deaths or this group of people, or it just sort of happens organically and you sort of go with the flow? How does it usually work?
Look, I think that I have a connection with the other side, with a type of mediumship that nobody considers exactly a mediumship, but which is intuition. So many times I uh, I I have one idea, even regarding to build a type of experiment or a device, and which I have no idea why I'm doing that, but I trust that it may work, and then I test, and usually it works. So I think that I work with intuition mainly, and so the other side give me the ideas of what I have to do.
Beautiful. So why don't we go into this amazing presentation that you've put together for us of these beautiful young men and women here who have passed on with this particular type of passing overdose. And you could take us through it.
Yes, these are the boys and girls that passed through overdose, and the mothers looked for me for getting signals or communication, and mainly I deal with images. And as we will see, there are evidences, specific evidences that these guys are communicating. For instance, this is Corbin. He passed at the age of 25 in 2022, and he's from Florida. So his mother sent me specifically one photo of Corbin because that is what we combine so that I can have a reference of the face, but nothing else, no information, no other photos, nothing. The idea is that I will get information, I will get images from Corbin in other ages, for instance, which are really extracted from his memories so that he will transfer, the technicians and the physicists, the engineers, mathematicians from the stations will transfer to our terrestrial devices Corbin's memories, so that is be a proof that it is him communicating, because nobody has those images, right? So let's see something. Look, here you can see me in front, and behind me there is Corbin, how he appeared.
Mm-hmm.
We have to say that presently images are very, very clear. This other one, also from Corbin, is very interesting, because only after I sent it to the mother all the recordings and made a draft of the magazine collecting all the trans images, I sent this one at left, and I had no idea if she would recognize as being Corbin or not, because I had no other reference besides that only single photo. And for a surprise, yeah, she had something that, yes, very similar to him when he was a
Yeah,
little child.
you can tell the smile is spot on.
Yeah, yeah. So this is an amazing technology developed by the other side. And look at the beauty of this image at left. This is incredible, but it came from the other side. Nobody has such picture, neither me, neither the family. So, and it has Corbin's traces, right?
Yeah. And Sonia, when you are doing the experiment, do you see the image with your own eyes during the actual experiment, or do you have to record yourself and then afterwards review the footage in order to spot the
Yeah,
trans image?
precisely. Yes, I don't see anything. All I see in this case, for instance, is just the vapor which is going out from the humidifier. And
Uh-huh.
so all I see is a lot of smoke and vapor. That's all I see. But uh, I'm recording, and in the recording, it will be shown the kids and what they wanted to show.
Because the speed of the trans image is much faster than our physical eyes can capture in the present moment, right? Without a recording. Is that the
Yeah,
reason?
possibly, but also maybe they are, because they are not sending something, they are interfering and simultaneously. So what I'm recording is being recorded precisely in that millisecond. So
Millisecond.
yeah, so obviously our mind is not able to grasp. So, but it is recorded, so no problem.
Beautiful. So the next one is Ethan.
Yeah, yeah. Ethan is this boy. Also, all of them for tested for overdose, and this young boy passed at the age of 21 in Tucson, Arizona, and he is at our right, and in some different moments, as we can see. Look at these.
Hmm.
So this is one thing which is important is to show the family that the kid is alive and well. They usually are smiling. So in different positions of the photo that the mother had sent. So it is something unexpected. Here
Nice.
we have uh, another experiment. Observe that it looks like a 3D image.
Yes.
And yes, I suppose that with the development of the research, we will see more and more 3D images, or maybe holographic, or whatever one day. Let's see. Here is another experiment that I made with an acrylic plate.
Uh-huh.
And um, here is Ethan again. reflected in the plate.
Oh, I see. And
So
in these types of trans images, you're only capturing the images. You're not capturing their voice or any particular type of communication from them, right?
yes, I think that maybe because the velocity for image is one and for sound is another. Up to date, it was not possible yet to have image and sound
At the
simultaneously.
same time, right?
Maybe, and we hope that we get it, but not now. When I record the images, it is images. Look at this.
Gotcha. Yeah,
It is,
very, very realistic.
yeah, very realistic. And
Beautiful.
This is another case, Will. This is Will. He passed it at the age of 26 and in Illinois. And look at this. He also appeared as a child in the middle. And then later, after mom had seen these trans images, she sent this photo at right for comparison.
Yeah, incredible.
Here again, one more. Now he brings someone else so that you see that Will is at left, but there is someone else at the right, which is something that happens very frequently here. The loved ones bring family members or friends or unknowns, so that later we collect all the pictures of unknowns that appear in the research, and I publish as a catalog, so that we have some 3 catalogs, and the 4th will be ready in 1 month, more or less. Only of loved ones that couldn't be recognized by the mothers or who asked the recordings. So many times we receive the identification of these other unknowns, and they send email photos, and so we have a publication of unknowns, and then another of recognized ones from the unknowns. So it is
beautiful.
Yeah, and it is all around the world. Just I received surprisingly recognition from South Korea, from the most unexpected countries.
Beautiful. It's remarkable.
Yeah, this I think is still more special. I was holding a black cloth, something like this. And I was just like this, holding a black cloth, and there appeared this trans image that is pointed with the blue arrow. And then mom had sent a photo which it reminds precisely the trans image. Obviously, only she would know it.
Remember it, yeah.
Remember that she had a photo like that. So I think this is very special because it is a little boy, and Will was not as little as these trans images, so we perceive that it came from somewhere.
It's remarkable. And usually, Sonia, how long do you record before you stop the recording and analyze? Like, how long is it usually? Like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 2 minutes?
No, otherwise I'll get crazy. I usually make short videos of 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and then I stop, and then I record again. So I make it many times, and then I watch everything. But I prefer to deal with short videos, so not to have a very heavy file. And it is time enough for them to interfere.
Got it. Yeah, it's enough time. 2 minutes is enough time for them to produce the trans image, right? And so when you're watching, do you like press play, pause, play? Like you go kind of like frame by frame almost?
Yeah, almost, yes. Not exactly, because I think that I have practiced it today to notice it beforehand what happened. But usually, yes, I
Got
have
it.
to go slowly and then to
Hmm.
see, uh, because many times I not only save the image, but also the frames before and after, so that I post in the magazine the video complete showing the appearance at the moment it appears. So yes, it is it is very it is exhaustive to see, but it is worthy.
Beautiful.
This one
Yeah.
is another from the same video. You see that it is a sequence of that one, so you can perceive that it is not just one frame. Usually, it is being formed in front of the camera, and then it vanishes. So this is another from the same. You see that I'm holding the black
The
cloth.
cloth. Yep. Very nice. Incredible. I'm sure you've gotten incredible feedback from the parents, right, over the years
Yes,
when they receive that.
yeah, I think they respect a lot the work because it is pure evidence all the time, and I publish each recording that I make. So it is uh, evidences of the afterlife for the family and for everybody.
Right.
So even that it is not your son, well, it is someone else's son, but it doesn't matter. It means that he appeared. So I think that these are very empirical proofs, evidences from the other side.
Absolutely. So we have another case here, Santiago, right?
Yes, Santiago is Argentinian.
Hmm.
He passed also from overdose at the age of 23. And his mother, Nancy, contacted me. And then I said, okay, let me see what we get. And here we are. Look that he will
Yeah.
appear like when he was a boy. Here, another
Wow.
one. Notes that in the photo that the mother sent, he was not smiling. He was with the lips closed.
Right.
Um, right? But yes, now here he smiles. What is
Wow.
over?
The resolution on the trans image is quite unique. I mean, it's very vivid and realistic.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, the other side is incredible.
Wow.
Here in another position, in another way.
And here you're using that acrylic, right?
Yes, yes.
Very cool.
I test of many in many ways.
Right.
Only paper, only light, acrylic,
What's
acrylic.
remarkable is that you really through by focusing your attention in the eyes, you really can grasp that it's the essence of the same soul, the same spirit from
Yeah,
the original photo that the mother sent. I mean, that's like, look at that. It's undeniable that it's his image, his footprint, right?
yeah. And then here, particularly, you look at it is something like 3D.
Right.
You have the
Beautiful.
impression that you can touch.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
This is Shan. I was also holding, look, this is very curious. I was holding the black cloth, but observe that the black cloth was just part of the image. So the other side uh, expressed the part. The chin is over the black cloth, but the eyes and the front is over the black cloth. So
Right.
they are able of an incredible technology. Look at this.
Oh, look at that.
Remember, I just had one photo, and we asked um, mothers to send a photo. The closest of the time the
Of
boy,
the
the girl
passing.
passed. Yeah. So let's say, usually I have them at 20, 22, 25 years old. And here you have a child, a little child.
Very small boy, yeah.
Yeah, and where it came from.
Yeah,
We have no
exactly.
idea. It is a child.
Incredible. Yeah.
Here, this is very interesting also, because he appears in two ages at the same time. Obviously,
Into oh.
yeah,
In front of the black cloth, right?
yeah, that time, yes, because I see the little holes of light, yes. Because I change every time, so I have to pay
Right.
attention to see what I was doing. And observe that this boy appears in two different ages.
Right.
So later, mother sent photos of him younger for comparison.
Right.
Let's see.
Amazing.
Sorry, I didn't send you. Yeah, this is another case. This is Violet. She also died from a overdose in Colorado at the age
At
of
the
21.
21. Okay.
Yeah, here you have,
Yeah, you can really tell that is her by the eyes. Amazing.
yeah, so you see, it is the acrylic and the vapor together. And
So
I am holding the black.
you basically point the vapor to blow the vapor on the acrylic, and with the lights, then you record there to then review the recording. That's how it projects, right?
Yes, usually like that, but I may use not the acrylic, I may use the black cloth, I will use the shiny cloths many
Uh huh.
times, because the light also helps. So it is different experiments to see what works better and
Right.
what doesn't work. So
Beautiful.
here, even the different color of the hair, observe that the image at the right is precisely violet.
Right.
And in two ages also, you see that
Yep.
to left, she's a bit older and younger in the at the right.
Yep. Beautiful.
And here also another picture
Very
that
young.
mother sent.
Beautiful. Yeah, and here's your Patreon for people to support, become a part of your community, and so that your work can continue doing, spreading the comfort, the certainty through the evidence that you get through images and sound, that life goes on, right?
Yeah, that's the idea. In the last 40 years.
Yeah, and so yeah, the what I wanted to ask you is that in these experiments, specifically of the kids with the overdose passings, you always saw them in a good condition, in a good state of mind, of being. None of them suffering, none of them reporting, terrible hell-like experience places and experiences after dying, right?
Yeah, this is a very interesting question because as per the Christianism or Catholicism, if you kill yourself, or in this case of overdoses, you go to hell permanently with no other chance. And this is not the version that we have at the Spiritism or some other um, Eastern philosophies. So the idea is that we have to progress. And if you made, let's say, a mistake, you have the chance to do it again. So there is no eternal suffering, no hell. This doesn't make any sense if you think that we have to progress.
Right.
And each case is necessarily one case. We cannot say, all those that passed through overdose will pass through this, and that, because the reasons are completely different. I had the opportunity to follow some cases in which the suicide, for instance, wasn't a suicide because it was a case like this. There was a girl, 22 years old, and she had to take many drugs for calming down. And I made a recording for her for the request of her mother, and she jumped through the window. In a single moment that the mother went into the kitchen, she went out of the bed and jumped and passed. So when I made the recording, nobody knew, but our voice said very clearly, I pushed her through the window. And it made sense because she had so many drugs for calming down that she was unable to get out of the bed and go to the window.
She didn't have the initiative on her own at that moment because she was so
Yes.
drugged out from the prescription medications.
Yes.
So the voice said that someone pushed her.
Himself, it was a male voice. He said, I pushed her through the window. So let's say that this is not a suicide. It was not her. So I mean, each case is one case. We don't know.
And were you able to find out who that voice was from? Which person that was?
It was curious because it was a Brazilian case, and the voice has a deep accent from interior, sotaque caipira.
Right.
But I don't think that. But usually these cases of obsessions are linked to the past. So not necessarily it is someone that was known. Could be, but usually it is someone from the past that is very linked to that spirit that is incarnated. And for some reason, thinks that he can have this person back to his side but obsessions cases are something amazing. And we should have more knowledge about spirituality to perceive all these. It would help a lot to understand
Absolutely.
many actions of suicides, people with overdose, etc.
And in your talks, in your conferences, in your events, when you're addressing the parents, many cases, are you able to convey these types of knowledges and these types of informations from the other side, like the spiritual knowledge about sort of the cause and effects, generally speaking, so that people can get a sense of comfort? Because I'm sure so many of these parents, their number one question is why.
Yeah, sure. Yes, yeah. Obviously, that no information will substitute the person. But I think that, for instance, the parents will accept better, that is the idea, that it was the time. I think that all of us come with a schedule to this life, and nothing can be done. Mainly if you will get a sickness, if you'll be in bed for some years, the day is that day, and that's all. There is no chance of negotiating. It is there. So I think that if we start understanding that we are here for a short experience, it doesn't matter if it is 90 years, it is still a short experience in the whole of our lives. So if you understand that it is the time and we experienced it, what we had to, so okay, it is enough, then we have to go. And I think that this would make people suffering less. But I think that unhappily this knowledge is just arriving on Earth now. But I think that with the advancement of sciences, I think that these will be proved more emphatically, scientifically, and okay, we have to accept. Let's say, if I have a boy that passed at the age of 20, well, he accomplished his time. It was nothing that I could do. It was not the doctor's fault. It was what we had to do. This vision is quite Eastern as well, but also from the Spiritism doctrine.
Yeah, it's the acceptance of a greater destiny, in the sense that it was something pre-planned, programmed, and when the time comes, it comes, and it's not the end. It's just a break, and there's going to be a continuation later down the road. And I think that's important for people to begin reflecting. And thanks to the internet today, there's so many modalities of work that address the afterlife. For example, out-of-body experiences, near-death experiences. There's some amazing channels that I follow of near-death experiences where people come back who had absolutely no religion, no connection to any kind of spirituality. They were just not connected to those topics. And after having a near-death experience, their life changes completely because they've gotten this amazing download of the insights and how it works on the other side. And the experience was so intense, they can't even describe it in words, but it changes them completely. And what you do is that type of work as well. You're like a channel for the other side, you know?
Yeah, in truth, it is something curious about the near-death experience. No, near-death experience, yes. For instance, it is said by the descriptions of lots of cases that when the person dies, but will return, dies for some seconds or some minutes, it is said that this person will see all his life like a video, and then, okay, the person comes back, and so. And this is very curious because it fits perfectly with my work, because as I have been observing and show it, all our images, all our memories are inside our mind. So whenever you see this, you see Sonia today, but if you had a larger capacity of vision, you would see me in my past. Everything is in my mind. These never vanish, all the lives. So it is curious because it is exactly what people in near-death experience, because they see like a video all the file of the memories, and that is what I'm getting now. So because if I make an experiment with the guy that passed at the age of 20, and he appears at the age of 5 years old, that image was extracted from his memory. So everything is there. I think that this is something which will be very important in the future, to know that our past doesn't vanish. It is all in our mind. And this will be precious for the future, because you have to be careful, because you have the impression that, okay, I did it, but nobody saw. That's not real. It is inside your mind,
Yeah.
and it can be
Yeah.
seen anytime.
Yeah, in this life review that they call it, where the people see the video of their life in those near-death experiences, one of the things that they most often say is that they're able to relive how they made other people feel in pleasant, positive ways that surprised them, that they had no idea that they made people feel a loving, positive, peaceful, joyful way. And they also experience moments when they made someone else feel bad. And the life review makes that very clear to them. And they actually relive by feeling how the other person felt upon their own choice in that moment. And so even though it's a short, sort of quick review, I'm sure it's very educational when they come back and they realize, wow, I have such an impact in the way other people feel, and I had no idea, right?
Yeah, it is true. It's very curious.
Beautiful. So I wanted to thank you, Sonia, once again for sharing some of the work that you do today. And it's very comforting, especially for those that have had the experience of losing a loved one, especially children, through complicated circumstances like an overdose, to have the tendency to think that their children are suffering somewhere in the afterlife.
Yeah.
And what your work comes and says is definitely not the case. Quite the opposite. They're loving, they're smiling, their memories of their own lives as children are coming back, showing the proof that that's what truly matters in the end. And so I hope that you continue doing your work, expanding and reaching as many hearts and minds as possible that need the comfort, the inspiration, and the knowledge, so that this science can continue progressing.
Yeah, it is true. I think that it is because of the story of the children will be in the hell for forever. This hurt as much as the loss of the child. I saw many mothers saying, "Oh my God! Besides, I lost my kid. Still, I think that he is suffering and will suffer forever. Oh, for God's sake!" And that is not real. Happily.
Yeah, if God is a loving father or mother, how can we think that would be the case, right? Now, I encourage once again everyone to go to Sonia's website through the Patreon page, Sonia_Rinaldi. Become a supporter, subscribe to her newsletter. I get her content in my inbox, and it's incredible content. I really learn every time. So here's the shout out to your work. Big hug to you, Sonia. May the year that's just starting here, we're recording this in the beginning of 2025, may it be a very fruitful and prosperous years filled with new advances, new discoveries, and new knowledge.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Talk to you soon. See you everybody in the next episode Around the Fire on Spirit Reflections. Bye-bye.